Mars, humanity's next home, the ultimate frontier challenge. Picture this. It's 2157, and you're video calling your great-great-granddaughter who lives in New Shanghai, Mars. She's complaining about the dust storms interrupting her commute to the terraforming facility, while you sip coffee in Earth's polluted atmosphere, wondering if you made the right choice staying behind. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's a very real possibility that's closer than you think. But getting there? That's where the story becomes extraordinary. Mars has haunted human imagination for millennia. Ancient civilizations saw it as the god of war, its rusty red appearance suggesting blood and conflict. Today, we see it as something far more precious, a second chance for humanity. With Earth facing climate change, overpopulation, and resource depletion, Mars represents the ultimate insurance policy for our species. But here's the mind-bending reality. Establishing a permanent human presence on Mars isn't just about building a few bases and calling it home. We're talking about the most ambitious undertaking in human history, transforming an entire world to sustain human civilization. The numbers alone are staggering. Mars is 140 million miles away at its closest approach to Earth, with a journey time of 6 to 9 months using current technology. The planet's day is remarkably similar to Earth's at 24 hours and 37 minutes, but its year lasts 687 Earth days. Gravity is only 38% of Earth's, meaning a 180-pound person would weigh just 68 pounds on Mars. But these statistics barely scratch the surface of what living on Mars would actually mean for human beings and society as we know it. Imagine stepping out of your spacecraft onto Mars for the first time. The first thing that hits you isn't the alien landscape, it's the silence. No wind rustling through trees, no birds singing, no distant traffic hum. Just the muffled sound of your own breathing through a life support system that literally keeps you alive with every mechanical breath. The early Mars colonies won't look like the domed cities of science fiction. They'll be utilitarian, underground structures carved into Martian rock or built from local materials using 3D printing technology. These habitats must be completely sealed environments, maintaining Earth-like atmospheric pressure and composition while protecting inhabitants from deadly radiation that bathes the planet's surface. The first colonists will live in spaces no larger than submarine compartments, every cubic foot carefully designed for maximum efficiency. Air recycling systems will capture every exhaled breath, water reclamation units will process every drop of liquid waste, and closed-loop agricultural systems will grow food in carefully controlled environments. But here's where it gets fascinating. These extreme constraints will force innovations that could revolutionize how we live on Earth too. The biggest challenge isn't getting to Mars, it's creating an atmosphere humans can breathe. Mars's atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide, less than 1% oxygen, and so thin that liquid water boils at room temperature. The atmospheric pressure is equivalent to Earth's atmosphere at 100,000 feet altitude. Enter terraforming, the process of transforming Mars into an Earth-like world. Scientists propose several methods that sound like they belong in superhero movies but are grounded in real science. One approach involves releasing greenhouse gases into the Martian atmosphere to thicken it and warm the planet. This could melt the polar ice caps, releasing water vapor and creating a more substantial atmosphere. Another method involves using engineered microorganisms to convert atmospheric carbon dioxide into oxygen over centuries. But here's the stunning part. Even with our most optimistic projections, terraforming Mars would take 301,000 years. That means the first Mars colonists will be pioneers not just for their own generation, but for dozens of generations that will continue their work. The psychological impact of this multi-generational commitment is staggering. Imagine dedicating your life to a project your great-great-great-grandchildren might finally see completed. Living on Mars will fundamentally change what it means to be human. The reduced gravity will affect bone density and muscle mass over time. Children born on Mars may grow taller than their Earth-born parents, but might never be able to visit Earth due to the crushing 1G gravity they've never experienced. The psychological challenges are equally profound. Early Mars colonists will experience isolation unlike anything in human history. No spontaneous walks in nature, No ocean breezes, no seasons in the traditional sense. The night sky will show two small moons instead of one large one, and Earth will appear as just another point of light among the stars. But humans are remarkably adaptable. The International Space Station has already proven that people can live and work in extreme environments for extended periods. Mars colonists will develop new cultural traditions, new forms of entertainment, and new ways of finding meaning and purpose in their unique environment. Consider this. The first child born on Mars will be a Martian, not an Earthling. They'll grow up with red skies, rust-colored landscapes, and the knowledge that their normal world would kill an unprotected human in minutes. The push to make Mars habitable is already driving technological innovations that will transform life on Earth. Advanced life support systems, sustainable agriculture techniques, renewable energy solutions, and closed-loop manufacturing processes developed for Mars will address Earth's environmental challenges. In situ resource utilization, ISRU, the fancy term for using what you find, will enable Mars colonists to extract water from ice deposits, generate oxygen from the atmosphere, and manufacture building materials from Martian soil. The Perseverance rover's MOXIE experiment has already proven we can create oxygen on Mars, producing about 5 grams per hour. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Mars colonization might actually save Earth. A permanent Mars colony will create the first truly interplanetary economy. The cost of shipping anything from Earth to Mars is astronomical, literally. This will force Mars colonists to become completely self-sufficient, developing technologies and systems that could make Earth's economy more sustainable and efficient. Mars colonies will specialize in industries that take advantage of the planet's unique characteristics. Low gravity and thin atmosphere make Mars an ideal launching point for asteroid mining operations. The planet's position in the solar system provides strategic advantages for deep space exploration and communication relays. The rare minerals and scientific discoveries made on Mars could generate enormous wealth, but the greater treasure will be the knowledge gained about planetary engineering, sustainable living, and human adaptation to extreme environments. But let's not sugarcoat the dangers. Mars colonization faces challenges that could doom the entire enterprise before it truly begins. Radiation exposure is a silent killer. Without Earth's protective magnetic field and thick atmosphere, Mars colonists will face constant bombardment from cosmic rays and solar radiation. Long-term exposure increases cancer risk and could cause genetic damage that affects future generations. The psychological isolation could break even the strongest minds. Early colonists will be cut off from Earth by communication delays of up to 24 minutes each way. No real-time conversations with loved ones, no immediate help if something goes wrong, no escape if the mission fails. Equipment failures that would be minor inconveniences on Earth become life-threatening emergencies on Mars. A broken water recycler, a compromised habitat seal, or a malfunctioning oxygen generator could kill an entire colony. The margin for error is zero. Then there's the political challenge. Who owns Mars? Who governs Mars colonies? What happens when Earth-based nations extend their conflicts to the Red Planet? The Outer Space Treaty of 1967 prohibits national claims to celestial bodies, but it's unclear how this applies to permanent settlements. Here's perhaps the most profound question. At what point do Mars colonists stop being Earth humans living on Mars and become Martians? When the first generation is born on Mars? When the colony becomes self-sufficient? When they develop their own culture and governance? The children of Mars colonists will face a choice their parents never had to make. Remain on Mars as part of a struggling but pioneering society, or return to an Earth they've never known. Some may choose Earth, but others will call Mars home, creating the first truly multiplanetary human civilization. This divergence could lead to the evolution of two distinct human subspecies over thousands of years. Earth humans adapted to 1G gravity and thick atmosphere, and Martian humans evolved for lower gravity and artificial environments. Conservative estimates suggest the first permanent Mars colonies could be established by 2050-2070. SpaceX's Starship program aims to land humans on Mars by 2029, with the goal of building a self-sustaining city of 1 million people by 2050. NASA's Artemis program plans to use the moon as a stepping stone to Mars, testing technologies and techniques in a closer, more accessible environment. The lessons learned from lunar bases will be invaluable for Mars colonization. But here's the exciting part. The first Mars colonists are already alive today. Children currently in elementary school could be among the first humans to call Mars home. Living on Mars will redefine human civilization in ways we can barely imagine. The challenges of surviving on a hostile world will foster unprecedented cooperation and innovation. The perspective of seeing Earth as a distant blue dot will fundamentally change how we view our place in the universe. Mars colonists will develop new forms of government designed for small, isolated communities where every decision affects survival. They'll create new art forms inspired by alien landscapes and unique experiences. They'll establish new philosophies about humanity's relationship with nature and technology. The children of Mars will grow up with a cosmic perspective that Earthbound humans can only imagine. They'll think in terms of planetary engineering and interstellar distances. They'll see themselves not as members of Earth nations, but as representatives of human civilization itself. Climate change, asteroid impacts, supervolcanic eruptions, or other catastrophic events could threaten human survival on Earth. A thriving Mars colony would ensure that human civilization, knowledge, and culture survive even if Earth becomes uninhabitable. But Mars colonization offers something even more valuable than species survival. It offers hope. The knowledge that humans can adapt to and thrive in the most extreme environments imaginable proves that we can overcome any challenge. The first humans to walk on Mars will carry with them the dreams and aspirations of everyone who ever looked up at the night sky and wondered, what if? They'll represent not just their own nations or organizations, but all of humanity taking its first steps toward becoming a spacefaring civilization. The question isn't whether humans can live on Mars, it's whether we have the collective will to make it happen. The technology exists or is rapidly being developed. The knowledge base is expanding with every Mars mission. The economic incentives are emerging as space commerce becomes reality. What we need now is the same spirit that drove humans to cross oceans, climb mountains, and explore the most remote corners of Earth. We need the courage to commit resources, accept risks, and work toward goals that may not be achieved in our lifetimes. Mars beckons not just as a destination, but as a test of human potential. Can we work together to accomplish something greater than any single nation or generation? Can we think beyond immediate needs to ensure humanity's long-term survival and prosperity? The Red Planet waits, ready to become humanity's greatest achievement or its most ambitious failure. The choice, as always, is ours to make. In the end, Mars colonization isn't just about living on another planet. It's about becoming the kind of species that can turn dead worlds into homes, transform impossible dreams into reality, and carry the light of consciousness to the furthest reaches of the cosmos. The future is calling from 140 million miles away. The question is, are we ready to answer?